Hi guys, how are you? This is Lois. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're well and safe wherever you are. Now, what do I want to talk about today? Today I want to talk to you about the new express entry changes. This is the new express entry for you. In a nutshell, I'll try to summarize it as much as possible in a way that a lot of you will understand. Okay? Now, I am a regulated Canadian immigration consultant and I'm based here in Calgary, Alberta. I just want to let you know a disclaimer that this is an educational channel. So the information that I give here is not legal advice. If you need legal advice, if you need one-on-one help, if you have immigration questions, please head on to our website www.mileleimmigrationservices.ca and book a consultation. I'll be happy to sit with you one-on-one and answer your immigration questions, offer you a second opinion. Maybe you're not understanding, you're dealing with someone who is helping you come to Canada and you really don't understand what it is you're doing or what it is you're in for. Before you spend a lot of money, always understand how you fit into the Canadian immigration. That way you will save yourself a lot of money and headache and heartache. Empowered candidates, educated candidates are empowered candidates. Don't do things blindly. No, understand immigration. And yeah, I'll do that when you book a consultation. Now, the much awaited changes in the Canadian Express entry are here. And I'm not gonna get deep into how we get into the Express entry because we've done so many videos previously on this. And I know majority of you watching this show here already kind of understand the Express entry. But I'll give you a short overview here. Now, I believe you know what express entry is. Express entry is not an immigration pathway. I know people are like, yes, Lois, I want to come there through express entry. You really are not coming through express entry, my friend. You are coming through one of the programs that are processed through the express entry. So express entry is a platform that IRCC uses to process applications for candidates who qualify under one of the three classes. That is the Federal Skilled Worker Program, the Federal Skilled Trades Program, or the Canadian Experience class. So you first have to meet the minimum requirements for those programs before you can get into the express entry. And I'm emphasizing this because, believe it or not, I meet people and they're like, Lois, I checked my points in the express entry, and I'm like, but you don't even qualify to be in the express entry, so why are you checking your points in the express entry? And people don't understand. So the fact that you can go and count your points in the express entry doesn't mean that you're qualified to be in the express entry to begin with. And people do this. They even go, they do IELTS, they do, education credentials because they read that those are requirements. My friend, if you don't meet the requirements to be in the express entry, it doesn't matter whether you have 400 points. If you don't meet the points, you just don't meet the points. There are actually even people who tell me, I have 470. They are excited out of this world. And I understand their excitement, but they don't qualify to be in the express entry because of one reason or the other. So make sure, before you get into the express entry, make sure you actually meet the requirements to be in that express entry. How do you do that? For example, under the Federal Skilled Worker Program, you need to have met the 67 points. If you don't have those 67 points, my friend, it doesn't matter whether you're ranking over 400 in the express entry. If you do your application in the express entry, it's gonna tell you you're not eligible. Okay, all right. Anyway, if you need help doing that, you can always talk to me and I'll walk you through that process. Now, why are we here? We want to address the new changes. The new changes in the express entry are not necessarily in the eligibility, but they are in how they are doing draws. What is draws? So once you get into this, so you qualify under these three programs, they get you into the express entry and you sit in a nice pool there with other candidates and they rank you under what we call the comprehensive ranking score, the CRS score, right? And the CRS scores are usually out of 1200. So that's why you hear people say, I have 380, I have 480, I have 520. Those are CRS scores. And now immigration goes in there, they do some fishing expedition, and ding, they get you guys out and they draw you. That is what is called a draw. And once they draw, they just don't draw anybody, of course. There's some kind of a some kind of a limit. And they'll draw based on points. So they'll say, we are drawing, we need 7,000 out of the people in the pool, and the pool has hundreds of thousands at any particular moment. So they want 700, they want, let's say, 1,000 or 7,000 people. So they are only going to draw from the top candidate in the pool until they get to the 7,000. Now after that, everybody else continues to stay in the pool waiting for the next draw to be invited. So the changes, the changes we are seeing right now are in the draw area. So previously there used to be two types of draws. There was the random draws, and the random draws is where they just go do their fishing, get these people, and by this number, the CRS score, and say, you know what, today the cutoff was 450. Everybody who had 450 by this time, then they qualified and they were invited, they can apply for PR. And from there you have your ITA, that's what you call invitation to apply, and you have 60 days to apply for permanent residence. And in about 1 year, you arrive in Canada like a boss as a permanent resident. Now, the other one was they will do what we call the provincial nomination draws. Again, you go get yourself a provincial nomination out there, you bring it into the express entry, you get an extra 600 points, and ding, you get on top of the pool. You're the cream de la cream up there. You get invited. Once you get invited, again, the process goes on. You have 60 days, you apply for PR, and boom, you are on your way to Canada. Now, these guys have added something else. It's a new draw, a new type of draw, which is targeted. Okay? Targeted draw. And this targeted draw is called the category-based draw, the category-based selection. We're calling it CBS. It's gonna be a famous term, the CBS category, the category-based selection. This category will have candidates invited based on the experience in targeted national occupation codes, that is NOCs. And I feel like it's borrowing a lot from the occupation-based category of the Saskatchewan provincial nomination. So it's more like that, but it's not replacing the express entry as we know it, or the random draws. The random draws will continue to be there. This is an extra type of a draw that will take place in the express entry. And we are gonna talk about these occupations briefly and shortly, and then we shall be seeing them as we go by in subsequent videos. So draws will continue to be done or to be held every 2 weeks. And guess what? The first draw was done today. Yes, they did the first draw, and I think they invited people at 476 in the CBS selection. And the regular draws were actually done yesterday, and the draw, the CRS score that was invited yesterday was 486. This year in March, I know some of my candidates who are invited at 481, and I think in October, was it in October? I think they invited 478. So I am hoping that with the introduction of this category, one way or another, the points will come down. As we've seen today, when they invited 476, that is a drop in the points. It's only that it was targeted to healthcare professionals today. Okay, so I just want to give you some hope there that just because like today they have categorized the specific occupations that will be targeted, it doesn't mean that everybody else should not be getting into the express entry. No, as long as you qualify to get into the express entry, make sure you get yourself in the express entry. Okay, get in there, of course, get in there with some understanding on your success chances. But I would say get in there, because what they have said is that these occupations, as much as they've already listed these occupations, they are not set on stone. No, they're not set on stone. So what they are doing it's rather an evolving process, and the NOCs will be evolving. They are consulting with stakeholders, employers, and people in the industry. They are doing their research, and that is how they identify the occupations that are actually in demand. And from that, they may add or subtract occupations from these targeted occupations. So make sure you're ready, stay ready to be invited, stay ready if you qualify to be in the express entry, because you never know, maybe your occupation is going to be deemed to be in demand anytime. Okay, now for this category, it doesn't replace any of the requirements, so you must continue to meet the requirements of the express entry, as I said, and of the specific classes in the express entry. You must meet the minimum eligibility, and now extra will be the fact that your occupation, so those people with those occupations gonna be feeling like, hey, like they are the special people anyway. So if you meet now, that is like an extra bonus, and you guys are gonna get an invitation. Hopefully it doesn't still from today, from what I've seen today, it doesn't mean like they're going to be inviting 300. Maybe in some occupations we shall see that when they invite people, especially in the trades and in the transportation, most likely the points will come lower. But in some of these occupations, I still think that the bar is quite high. That's why the points drawn today was 476, and today they invited 500 candidates. Okay, now there is an extra, just a small difference in this CBS category. On top of meeting the requirements, you must meet something on the work experience, because they want to make sure that these people, they have work experience in this specific NOC, and this work experience has to be very current. So it's not the work experience that you did 10 years ago or 8 years ago. You must show that you meet at least 6 months continuous work experience in the last 3 years in an occupation in demand, in a targeted occupation. Okay, 6 months in the last 3 years in a targeted occupation, then you will meet the requirements for this. All right, so now, of course, you know that 6 months is not enough to get into the express entry. That's why I said you must continue meeting the requirements of you being in the express entry. That is the language, the education, the work experience, adaptability skills, all those requirements that you needed to get into the express entry, you must meet them. And now there's going to be an extra. That is what is differentiating the regular random invitations and the category based. It's you showing that you actually have some work experience of at least 6 months in the last 3 years in a targeted occupation. Okay, so which are these occupations? I know which are these categories. There's 6 categories, I believe. There's 6 categories that will be targeted. Number 1 is the French language proficiency category, and one must have a minimum of CLB7 in French. I've always told you guys, come on, French is like your golden ticket to this country. Now these things are coming true, so make sure that if you have the stomach to get French, please go and study French. Okay, then the other category is the healthcare occupations. We shall talk about that in details. I'm gonna walk you through those occupations in the next video. And then number 3, we have the STEM occupations, and when I say STEM, that is science, technology, engineering, and math occupations. And then number 4, we have the trades occupations. Again, I'll walk you through that in a subsequent video. And number 5 is transportation occupations. And number 6 is agriculture and agri-food occupations. Of course, today they just started with healthcare, so I think I'm excited, I'm curious, I want to see what's gonna happen, and you should be excited too. So get yourself ready, get yourself in the express entry. I'll make sure that we go through these categories, we see where else they're in demand, maybe just not in the express entry, just so that you can get you can get your ducks in a row, and you can be prepared to apply to whatever program suits you out there. Okay guys, so I hope this session was useful for you. Please share, like, and subscribe. We like our subscribers. And if you need a consultation, please head on to my website www.mileleimmigrationservices.ca and book a consultation with me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.